After 12 years with the department, university officials dismiss Ball State's police chief. Good evening and welcome to NewsCenter at 9:30. I'm Josh Woodsman.
And I'm Amy Barnett. Joe Wehner has been the target of controversy for almost a year. That controversy and his tenure ended today. It's tonight's top story. Vice President of Student Affairs Douglas McConkey isn't saying a lot about the details of the removal. About a month ago, the Indiana State Police Department completed an investigation into the University Police Department. No criminal charges have been brought from the investigation. Vice President McConkey says he does not want to relate the investigation to Wehner's removal. McConkey says he has been in contact with President Bernal during the past 2 weeks about the leadership in the UPD. McConkey declines to say what they discussed, but yesterday he says Wehner was told to step down. This morning, the rest of the police department got the word. About a month ago, President Bernal set up an advisory board to review the state's police department's investigation. McConkey says he expects that the internal investigation will continue until May, and at that time the university will look for a permanent new university police chief. McConkey says the UPD will benefit from what he calls a fresh start.
Excellent core to build upon in terms of the people there. And so I'm very optimistic as we take a comprehensive look that we're on the right track.
Has been named acting chief. When NewsCenter spoke to Burton this afternoon, he said the administration advised him not to speak with reporters.
Last Friday, a woman stole a Delaware County deputy prosecutor's wallet here at the Muncie Target store. You're looking at surveillance video obtained by the retailer. The prosecutor is in the brown coat. Now you see that she leaves her wallet on the checkout counter, then continues to load her purchases into the shopping cart. She then leaves the store and forgets her wallet. A few seconds later, the woman in the yellow coat notices that the wallet is sitting on the counter. She proceeds in picking the wallet up off the counter and leaves the store with it.
Her mid-40s, approximately 5'9", 5'10", probably 170 pounds, long dark hair pulled back. Told the clerk that she knew who the woman was and that she was going to take the item to her. You can see her take the wallet, take off with it. She's acting as if she's going to take it to the woman that lost it.
The suspect told the Target cashier she returned the wallet to the prosecutor. Detective Brown says the suspect had the wallet in her purse when she returned to the store. Now, police say they're also looking for the man who accompanied the suspect. He's described as being 5 feet 7 inches tall, about 275 pounds, balding, and wearing a NASCAR jacket. If you have any information, you can call Detective Jamie Brown at 747-4873.
Ball State University is getting ready for more students next year. Officials say more applications and a larger spring enrollment are strong indications the university may have more than 18,000 students next fall. Applications are up 16% and admission deposits are also up 22% over last year. That means 1,400 students have already confirmed their intent to enroll by paying an initial deposit.
An Indiana University fraternity is all quiet today, suspended after police broke up a party last weekend. Sigma Alpha Epsilon's national headquarters suspended the chapter after police say they found 400 partygoers and about 1,000 cans of beer. Several students were arrested, including the chapter president. That fraternity is now the 5th at IU to be suspended or expelled since strict rules were enforced dealing with alcohol on campus.
Ironically, Ball State implemented the same restrictions last fall, and not one fraternity has been suspended since then. NewsCenter reporter Jim Vandy has more on that.
Riverside, the home to most of Ball State's fraternities. Are they a place of good times and brotherhood, or an accident waiting to happen? Since Ball State became no tolerance on frat parties, there have been only minor complications, though in IU's case, their 5th fraternity has already been suspended. Their last fraternity was suspended just last weekend.
The main problem they have is that they're so large. They're almost 85 to 90% Greek. Everyone's Greek at Indiana. And when they're so large, they have much more demand for students to join their organizations that they can allow the hazing and the drinking and the inappropriate behaviors to go on.
Will the actions of IU's fraternities affect the Ball State fraternity life?
That's kind of putting a bad putting a bad name in everyone's head, putting a bad rep on everyone, because not only does that start down there, but it spreads elsewhere. through all the other universities, not only in this state, but on around the country as well.
Only time can tell if the Ball State fraternities will remain strong or begin to fall fast like IU. As for NewsCenter 43, I'm Jim Vandy.
From our partners at the Ball State Daily News, here's a look at tomorrow's headlines tonight. Read more details about the resignation of Ball State's police chief and who his replacement will be. Also, in the light of Black History Month, the Black Student Association will sponsor a women's forum on excessive movie lyrics towards women. And a look at a speech given tonight by a news photographer who was filming at the World Trade Center on 9/11. Those stories and more in tomorrow's Daily News. Now, the news photographer we just told you about was on the front line doing his job on 9/11. He spoke at Ball State tonight. David Handschuh, a Ball State alum, was filming the tragedy of the terrorist attacks and saw firsthand the destruction that was caused. After going through such an event, he says he plans to start a program to help other journalists deal with witnessing traumatic events. Handschuh is currently living in New Jersey.
A former Delaware County Sheriff's candidate didn't violate any laws by transferring funds to his nephew's campaign. That's according to Indiana election officials. Don Scroggins dropped out of the sheriff's race due to health problems. His nephew, Democrat Mike Scroggins, later entered the race and received $7,000 from his uncle's campaign. Don Scroggins says that the transfer of donations was cleared with election officials. And we take a break from news now. Milan Willie's in with her first forecast.
I tell you what, Milan, spring needs to get here soon because I'm tired of the winter jacket and I'm tired of the cold. So good news.
You got to take off the winter jacket for today, and you will get to take it off for tomorrow too. But for tonight, look at that. It will be clear out there. A temperature of 29 degrees with our winds, which will be west at 8 miles per hour. So just a beautiful night for tonight.
Okay, thanks. A multiple sclerosis patient says she uses marijuana to treat her pain has avoided a prison sentence. Marion County prosecutors have agreed to dismiss drug possession charges against Jeannie Horton of Indianapolis as long as she pays $150. MS affects a person's central nervous system and can cause a loss of muscular coordination. Horton says her health has greatly improved after she started smoking marijuana last year, but Indiana doesn't recognize medicinal use of the drug.
If you ever get an itching to play slot machines, we may have some good news for you tonight. Governor Frank O'Bannon says he may support permanently docked riverboat casinos if the legislation limits the number of slot machines and card games available to patrons. In the past, O'Bannon has said he would not support dockside gambling. However, the governor will consider signing a bill that would allow riverboats to permanently dock on Lake Michigan and the Ohio River. Well, in the past decade, Indiana has set aside millions of dollars to help those who have a problem with gambling, but the number of people who actually need the assistance remains a question. According to records, just 125 gamblers were treated last year, 53 of those in Evansville. The treatment is paid in part with $18.6 million set aside since 1995 from casino admission taxes. It is estimated that 1% of the population has a gambling problem. That translates to about 45,000 Hoosiers.
The man in charge of Indiana National Guard recruiting has resigned. Colonel James Irwin's resignation follows a court-martial testimony that portrayed him as the person behind the efforts to artificially inflate Guard membership. However, the 58-year-old tells the Indianapolis Star that he is stepping down to spend more time with his family. Irwin says he did not mastermind a plan in which to use phony documents to inflate membership levels. Well, coming up on NewsCenter at 9:30, we'll have the details on today's congressional hearings involving the Enron scandal.
Also, tense moments on a United Airlines flight. We'll have this and more when East Central Indiana's only live local newscast continues.
Three people were shot today outside Chicago's Roosevelt High School. Of the three victims, only one was a student. She's described as a 16-year-old sophomore. She was hospitalized for a superficial wound. The other two victims, both males, have also been hospitalized, one in stable condition. The shooting took place as school was letting out for the day.
After a 10-day manhunt, 4 Texas jail escapees are back in custody tonight. The 3 men and 1 woman broke out of Mantang County Jail January 28th. Police found 2 of them outside a convenience store in Oklahoma and arrested them without incident. The other two were inside the store where they held the owner hostage during a 6.5-hour standoff. They eventually surrendered, and the store owner was freed without injury. He says during the standoff, the fugitives shared stories with him about hunting, fishing, and prison life.
Former Enron Chief Financial Officer Andrew Fastow refused to testify before Congress this morning about the energy company's collapse. A House investigation of Enron's questionable accounting practices is still underway, and several other Enron executives have already pled the Fifth. Former CEO Jeffrey Skilling was expected to be the final witness today. Last night, new documents surfaced outlining Skilling's possible knowledge about Enron's outside partnerships. A committee spokesman says the memos show Skilling may have been trying to keep this name off transactions relating to those partnerships.
A man who tried to enter the cockpit of a United Airlines flight headed from Miami to Argentina this morning is in police custody tonight. An FBI spokesman says 28-year-old Pablo Moria walked towards the cockpit and started kicking the door. The crew of United Airlines Flight 855 subdued him with an axe. The flight continued to its destination, and Moria was turned over to Argentine police. He was then taken to the hospital. The extent of his injuries is not yet known. Moria, a citizen of Uruguay, will be sent back to Miami.
Hundreds of passengers were evacuated from Baltimore Washington International Airport today because of a security breach. The evacuation was ordered by the FAA and affects passengers in one concourse and on the Southwest Airlines jets. The passengers were screened while the concourse was searched. Bright Security was responsible for securing the concourse. Yesterday, the Department of Transportation said it was breaking ties with Bright because of the security problems in the past. The exact nature of today's problem is unknown.
A winter storm has brought snow, ice, and rain to many parts of southeastern U.S. this week. In Nashville, Tennessee, snow was as far as the eye could see today, with the city expecting to get as much as 3 inches on the ground before it was all over. Snow was also seen in other parts of Middle Tennessee, forcing several counties to close schools. The Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for parts of the state. No snow here, but it's still cold out, and maybe a chance for the weekend?
No snow here, but on Saturday we will be getting some rain and possibly some snow Saturday night leading into Sunday, but I'll have your complete forecast right after the break. Bright sunshine and our mild temperatures. We see our temperature got up to 46 degrees for today. Our normal high is at 35 degrees, so you can see how we are above normal for this time of year. Our low this morning was at 28, and our normal low is at 18 degrees. Now, as we take a look at our highs around Indiana, we see South Bend got up to 38, Fort Wayne and Muncie 46, Indianapolis 49, and Evansville got up to 50 degrees for its high for today. Now, as we take a look at what's going on out there currently, it's currently clear, just a beautiful night for tonight. But before tonight, look, our current condition out there right now is 37 degrees, and our winds are west at 7 miles per hour. Now, as we take a look at our satellite here, we see that we have a lot of cloud cover to the west, and that's where we have this new system that's kicking up, and this new system will be coming our way by Saturday night leading into Sunday. And as we take a look at our radar here, we can see the rain that's associated with this system here, stretching down from Washington, Oregon, and in California. We also have some snow in the Idaho area, so just some very, very mild and beautiful conditions for our part, but for them, they'll be experiencing some rain. And now you can see that system right there that I was talking about, and how it's going to be moving into our area, giving us some possible snow even by Sunday. So that's something that we really don't want to see, but our temperatures will continue to be mild for this time of year. And as we take a look at that system that was affecting the south, how it's moved off the coast, and they will be getting some relief for tonight. So that's something to look forward to for tonight. Now, as we look at the central part of the U.S., they'll be experiencing some 20s, and for us, we'll just be experiencing some 20s, but we'll be in the upper 20s for tonight for our lows. And as you take a look at what's going on for our lows for tonight, take a look at that. It's going to be clear out there with the temperature of 29 degrees, and our winds will be west at 8 miles per hour. Now, tomorrow when you wake up, it's going to be sunny out there, no snow to break or no frost in your windshield for tomorrow. Our temperature will be 34 degrees and our winds will be southwest at 10 miles per hour. Now, as we take a look at our highs for tomorrow, you see that we'll be right along that border of getting the upper 40s to the lower 50s, and we will just be hitting on 50 for tomorrow for our highs. And in the central part of the U.S., they'll be experiencing some 30s and some 40s, and above normal temperatures down south where they'll be experiencing some 60s for tomorrow. Now, as we take a look at what we'll be getting for tomorrow, we see that sunshine will continue for the rest of the day for tomorrow, with our temperature getting up to 52 degrees and our winds will be southwest at 12 miles per hour. Now, as we take a look at our 3-day here, you can see that rain that I was talking about, how it's going to be coming into our forecast on Saturday and on Sunday, which will be some possible snow even coming on Sunday. Our temperatures will be at 50 on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be lowering just a tad bit with the high of 39 degrees, but on Monday, we'll start to raise back up with a temperature of 43 degrees, and that rain will be out of our forecast. That's something to look forward to start off the work week or the school week for us.
That's for sure, but I hope that snow stays away.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thanks, Milan. Tom Kozrowski joins us with a look at sports.
Tom, my hometown, Noblesville, played Muncie Southside tonight.
Yes, unfortunately, your hometown is losing.
Oh.
Muncie South tearing it up. Ryan Baumgartner having a great game. We'll have a look at that, plus a look ahead at men's and women's hoops at Ball State. All that and more when NewsCenter 43 Sports returns. Ball State headed to Northern Illinois on Tuesday, where they hadn't lost since 1986, to try and gain some momentum away from Worthen Arena. Chris Williams broke out with a career-high 31 points against a surprising Husky squad who hung with the Cards for most of the second half before falling 86-81. Ball State will test their road weariness once again this weekend at Ohio University, where the Bobcats have played well as of late. The Cats are 7-2 at the Convo this year, with wins over Wisconsin and Marshall, so the Cards will need all the momentum they can muster. Ball State is 0-3 on the road this year against teams with winning records. And sophomore Jonna Goff drilled 3 long balls in the first half en route to a season-high 24 points as the Ball State women's basketball team grabbed its 7th straight win. BSU continues to hold the top spot in the MAC West at 17-4 overall. That's Tracy Roller's record for her first-year head coach, and 9-1 in conference play. The Lady Cards hope to continue their winning ways on Saturday afternoon at Worthen Arena when they take on the Buffalo Bills. Coming off a blowout loss at Western Michigan on Tuesday, the Bulls must now come to Muncie, where the Cards have won 9 straight by an average margin of 27 points. Again, Tracy Roller tied for the most wins as a first-year head coach in BSU history. With the win, she will break that record. And, you know, preseason college baseball polls are out, and the Cardinals are in. That's right, Collegiate Baseball, the first of three publications to rank Ball State, gave the Cardinals their highest ranking at number 28 in the nation. The National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association ranked BSU 35th in the country, while Ball State received 20 votes in the ESPN USA Today poll, making them the only MAC team to receive votes, and that placed them at 37th in the nation. But no matter how you look at it, Ball State is good this year. That's right, the Cards kick off the 2002 season on February 22nd against Eastern Kentucky, but March 18th they take on the defending national champion Miami Hurricanes. And now we go out to Muncie South, defending 3A state champions, looking to get win number 13 against Noblesville. Brian Welshfine and Chris Hartley. Noblesville up early, but here comes Brian Baumgartner. Terrence Sevion, he hits from long range. That's Ryan Baumgartner on the 3. Southside down just 3. Then Baumgartner again. Watch this pass to Andre Amerson. No look. He gets the rebound, then gets the board and the hoop. Southside down just 1. They're coming back. Baumgartner again from the corner. Look at the ball movement. That gives them the lead at 26-24. Southside goes on a 24-9 run to finish the half, and they go into the locker room up 34-26, and that's the last updated score that we have for you. The greatest driver in NASCAR in the history of NASCAR was memorialized today by the track he tamed once in only 20 years. The Daytona International Speedway unveiled a statue of Dale Earnhardt just outside its gates. It was at Daytona where Earnhardt finally got his most coveted win in 1998, but then tragically lost his life in the final turn of last year's Daytona 500. Earnhardt's widow, Teresa, was on hand to help unveil the 9-foot bronze statue of her late husband. And guess what, Amy? We do have a final for you. Noblesville came back and
Can
won
I
it in
read
the
it?
second
Can I
half.
read it?
Go ahead. Go for it.
Noblesville 72, Muncie South 64.
Muncie South drops to 12-7. They are still defending 3A class champions, and they are still favored to win the state title.
What's Noblesville's record?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Who cares? That's really the story. Who cares about Noblesville?
It's Amy's school, so
I
who really
know.
cares?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Tom. Still ahead on NewsCenter at 9:30, Milan will have your weather recap. And a storybook character, Peter Rabbit, celebrates a milestone, so stay tuned. And Milan's here.
With a look at our wake up
All
weather.
right, we're going to have some good weather for tonight as we look at the graphic on a. All right, for tonight it's going to be clear with a temperature of 29 degrees and our winds will be west at 8 miles per hour. Now for tomorrow it'll be sunny and a high of 52 degrees. As we take a look at our 3 days, some rain Saturday and Sunday, but Monday temperature will start to rise back up and that rain is out of our forecast. That's something to look forward to.
Okay, thanks. A popular children's storybook character is celebrating his birthday, and a museum in the nation's capital is helping to mark the big event. Peter Rabbit turns 100 this year, and to coincide with his birthday, the Smithsonian Institute in Washington is opening a new exhibit in his honor. The display centers around the character's British creator, Beatrix Potter, who wrote the stories of children's book from 1902 until 1930. As part of the opening, Britain's ambassador to the U.S., Christopher Meyer, will read a Peter Rabbit story to a group of children. The exhibit runs through May 26th, so kind of exciting.
Yeah. Remember reading those as a kid?
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us for NewsCenter at 9:30. I'm Josh Woodsman.
And I'm Amy Barnett. NewsCenter 43 is an official CNN Student Bureau. Be sure to tune in Sunday for NewsCenter Weekend. That's at 9:30. Have a good evening.